All right, everyone, welcome to the next episode of the Beach Court Podcast. My name is Eric Ridgway. That's Max Corcoran, and down there is Parker Greenwald somewhere. We're going to talk about what happened this weekend in Stockholm, what we did this weekend in Florida, and who the best player is now without a win. Because Isaiah Brander took it down in Stockholm finally with none other than Gardevoir. We also have Alessandro Cremascoli on the podcast this week, talking everything control. Going to pick his brain about Pidgeot controller for Atlanta, so you're going to want to hear that interview. Stay tuned for that. Of course, we've got Crispin's quarterback. Everyone loves Crispin's corner. We're going to see who's been cooking this week, and you're going to make sure you want to stay tuned to the very end of the episode. We've got some really big announcements. Find out who won the Prismatic Evolution giveaway, and some tournaments upcoming in Northeast Florida that you will want to be at. Anyways, let's get to it, boys. How was your weekend?
Awful. Just kidding.
I mean, why was it awful?
So we had a
Because he didn't hit his generators. That's why it was awful.
He hit his generators versus me.
I did.
He did.
All right, tell the people, Parker.
So I was double cup weekend. Super excited about it. Nakama got knocked out. Cool stuff got knocked out. It was my first time actually playing in the Nakama Cup. And it was pretty small, so it felt big to not, or like felt really bad to not, get points there. Well, I needed just second to get points, I guess. But and I cool stuff. First time I've not topped that cup since I've been able to play. Also felt bad. Just it wasn't my weekend for Pokemon.
Where'd you play the cool stuff?
I played Dragapult. Round one was rough. My opponent's Badoo took 2 prizes, so like that you already know you're losing if that happens.
Yikes.
And
Tell me it was against Cloth, at least.
no, well, it was against Guardy. One of the
Rain Cloth.
well, he didn't get Monkey Dory till it was a weird game. I
So he busted you 7 times.
Twice.
just about.
7.
I mean, like literally.
How do you see that many cards without getting any way to get like roading and draw cards to get out of it?
I don't know. Dragapult didn't touch like my hands for like.
How many lamps
Most
are
of
you
the
playing?
game.
Well,
I'm playing 3. Yeah. No, I mean, it was just it was just a weird game. Like,
It's brutal.
like I started Duskull and like never got energy to like retreat till finally I finally went into Badoo and then like I Badooed, he Badooed.
I have a Badoo, you Badoo, we all got a Badoo.
Yeah, and then he
Yo, Badoo, you're a Badoo, we're all a Badoo. Hey.
yeah.
I just imagine like Parker's deck is like just like the bottom 10 cards are like Dracloak, Lance, Rotom, 4 Seal Stone. That's my headcanon. Like I feel like that's the situation. And damn minute on yeah.
There was a turn where I could have jet headbutted his Badoo. I saw my first energy of the game. But I was like, then I just get absolutely annihilated by Drifloon the next turn. So I'm not doing that.
Wait, Jet Headbutt from the from
From Dragapult EX, the 1 energy attack. But yeah, I don't know. It was just
Have a good deck.
just not my weekend for Pokemon, I guess.
Get it out of the way now, okay? Because Atlanta's coming, so just get out of the way now.
Me on the other hand, calmer weekend of Pokemon kind of took off for most of it, but actually I did judge my first event, so judge the Nakama League Cup. I was able to let Parker play this one. I was able to judge, and honestly, like went pretty smoothly. Had a pretty, good crowd, small local crowd that kind of all knew their stuff. So things weren't too complicated. Top 4 cut went pretty quickly. I felt my worth the most when I was able to do the little thing where in the top 4 match I'm marking like energy supporter retreat because there's a lost Tina playing. And I was able to be like, okay, no, there's questions like, wait, did you play this or did you retreat? I was like, no, you attached this, so you did this, and being able to like talk it back. But again, cool to be on the other side. Glad to be able to give back a little bit and then hope to be able to do a little bit more of that.
Yeah.
Other than that, played a little bit online. I've been playing some of Neil's from Shout Out Shift Gear podcast. And Neil's Dragapult list. It's Stamp and the Blood Moon, and the Monkey Dory and all that shenanigans. Because he said, "Hey, play this deck while you still can." And ran into a game last night on PTCG Live where I prized both my Dragapults. against a cloth. And I'm like, all right, this matchup's already kind of weird. Like, if I can just get a Dragapult, I should be fine. I'm like, oh, all my Dragapults are prize 6. So, but they managed to fall at the 6-1 comeback using Blood Moon. And then Monkey Dooring my opponent for several turns in a row while they bench lock themselves. And then win the Blood Moon again. So never attacked the Dragapult, but still got the win. So deck
good. Yeah, deck certified good. I, on the other hand, I played in the cup on Saturday as well. I played a deck. I played Goldango. I played Lucas Zing's Goldango. I changed Roxanne for Iono. And probably if I didn't, I wouldn't have beat Parker. But
Probably would have.
I don't know, man, because like if I don't do that, like you're taking a KO the next turn. And then I have to find the Roxanne. Because the problem with like Roxanne, like these draw supporter cards and Goldango is like you want the cards you have in hand like most of the time. So it's like super hard to like play the disruptor because you're nervous about drawing back into it. So I had an opening where I was able to just get 2 Goldangos down, like keep my bench small so like Raikou couldn't pick a KO. And so my first action going second, because I chose second, was Cypher for Iono eSearch Pro, stack Iono eSearch Pro. So that way I top deck Iono, evolve with a Goldango because I have it in my hand, and then Iono into eSearch Pro to knock out his Iron Hands. And then he was able to find out, you know, a backup attacker the next turn because I kept my bench small. So Iono won me that game, I'm pretty sure. And then I was able to take it down against Dragapult in the top 4 and Tina in the finals. Feels good to be done with cups finally, but I don't know, man. My thoughts on cups still just like are so off the wall. I don't mind it being a part of the World Championship circuit. I just don't like that it means so much in a top 125 race. You know, I think it means too much. It's because like, and the reason why I say that is like you've got areas of the country that have like 2-3 person cups and you can just show up to and win. And you've got areas of the country that are like 50, 30, 40, 50 people cups. And I just think that's an unfair advantage based off of a geographic location or hitting the right cups or the wrong cups. So I don't know how I feel about it being in the Worlds yet, like in the Worlds kind of qualification process. Just because you're at such a disadvantage if you don't get your local points in the top 125 race, it feels like. But yeah, happy to be done because it's been stressful. I've been to probably like 30 cups and like we had this discussion about it, like we're like, when you look at an 8-person regional, is it harder to day 2 a regional or what?
8-day regional. 8-person regional, I think would be pretty easy.
Yeah, sorry, like an 8-round regional. Where like, is it easier to day 2 an 8-round regional, or is it harder? Is it easier to win like a 30-40 person cup in Florida? A place where players are really good, and it was a conversation of like we were like, I don't know, man, it's kind of close,
Yeah, I mean, the way the systems are, I understand that there being a local component because I do think that having the local events that mean something, and especially go towards like Ace Trainer reward points and things like that when that system's built out more, like there needs to be some method for that. Should have played in the World Championships, kind of like give or take. I think like I think we talked about this on a previous episode too, but I think like the fact that like the mentality around those have become like so tough around the cups and like needing to go to the cups and needing the wins for blah blah blah. It's like we're losing the spirit of like the tournaments a little bit.
Right.
And especially for like other players who aren't going for Worlds, and it's just, oh, what's the reason to go to the cup, right? Like, what's the spirit of that? To win the mat? Oh, well, this one is Pikachu, but I don't really like Lapras, so I don't really go to the Lapras Cup. So I mean, like those little things. I think like as a community, maybe like, like the culture shift isn't there of like, hey, we're maybe like going after all these cups for the wrong reasons a little bit.
Right.
Where I think ideally, we just show up because we like to play Pokemon and we want to prove that we're the best at the winner of our local card store. I know some card stores lean into that and say like, hey, hey, if you win the cup here, then you get this perk, or you get the next challenge free, or like they're like the little things like that to like incentivize like a cup champion. I think that would be something cool, honestly, to like advertise and be like, I'll be like, oh hey, hey, the cool stuff champion for like this store is this X, Y, or Z, and then it says And then you get the bragging rights if whoever's there to hopefully be at the local store being like, oh, hey, we got this. Or someone came from out of town or a different store and took it and says, oh, we got to gear up and show up to locals so we can go and, win the one this next time or whatever it is.
We'll talk to Shaw and get like a free, dish at the cafe when you win the cup.
There we go.
There we go. Anyways, what else did I do this weekend? It's pretty much it. I built some baby stuff. There's a dresser over here you can't see. And then I also built this chair. I got a new chair. So yeah, build a couple of things. And let's transition and talk about Stockholm. Stockholm results. Oh, do I have the predictions that we did? I should bring that up. Hold on a second. Did I save it?
But in the meantime, for Stockholm, right, like as we said, Isaiah Bradner taking it down with Gardevoir, and a close finals match against Alessandro Cremascoli, who again is going to be on the episode later, so tune in for that. But really, really diverse, like top 8 and like overall, good showing. I was surprised, a lot of people are kind of saying, hey, dead format, not a lot going on here, geared up for this one, but you saw a lot of people like cooking and bringing up some new stuff for it as well. So that stuff's always exciting to see.
Yeah, people really were cooking for this tournament, and it was it's impressive. We'll talk about it. It sadly didn't save our predictions, so I can't review those today. Anyways, Isaiah Bradner took it down. Finally gets the win after I don't know how many seconds, but a lot of second places. Well-deserving player. Isaiah Bradner puts in so much work into the format. Did you guys see the tweet that Andrew Hedrick put out, where it was like a text message from Isaiah saying like, if you're playing Gardevoir, like what's
what you're throwing, yeah.
And then works with Henry Chow to build this beautiful list. It's just Monkey Dory and friends, really. I got two Evos, one Devo. I played the energy switch to be able to get even more Monkey Dory off. And played even 2 research. So really just a consistent Gardevoir list here. 2 Arven is a little interesting, but you're playing the box to get to the Arven if you need it. And you're also playing 2 Evo, so you can just research into it. But yeah, the biggest takeaway from this list, and we'll talk about this with Alessandro, is the no bosses orders in the list. When's the last time a deck won a regional with no bosses orders?
Probably when bosses orders wasn't legal.
Right? I mean, like, I can't remember a time when like someone won without bosses orders.
Eric, you should have done the homework. That would have been
That would have been a really good trivia question, but I just didn't have time to do the homework today, and nor did I think about the question until just now. But yeah, I mean, it was very interesting to see no bosses orders in this list, and Alessandro did not know when playing finals that there was no bosses orders. I didn't know John Ing finished 17th. It's pretty good. Yes, we saw Gardevoir take it down. The rest of the top 8 was Pidgeot Control in finals. We talked about that. Archaludon in 3rd place. Dragapult 4th. Cloth, Badu, Terapagos, and Friends at 5th. Lugia with 1 final ride in 6th. Snorlax Doll 7th. Oscar Madsen with Dragapult, not Dragapult Zard, in 8th place. We did see a 10-person cut here. Asymmetrical cut. And so we have Gardevoir and none other than Reggie Drago making ASIM cut out in Stockholm. Looking at the list, don't see anything crazy. No Poppy, nothing like that. Got the Goodra. I think we haven't seen Goodra in the list in a while, right?
I think they were mostly playing good.
Well, he's been playing the same list since the UIC.
Yeah, I did see that.
Didn't we see, I think we saw like a Reggie Drago playing Radiant Alakazam on stream over the weekend. Did you guys see that list?
Yeah, I think that list even came around in Vancouver even. We've seen that a little bit. I think just some extra damage manipulation there. So not the first time we've seen it, but still a little off-the-wall inclusion.
Yeah, so we talk about the cooking here. Let's highlight some things. I'll pick one first and we'll go around the table. What's some interesting things that you found out in Stockholm? For me, what stood out, Nettie Kosek at 23rd place with Hydreigon. And honestly, I've been playing this list some today. It's kind of fun and actually rather consistent with the Radiant Greninja to be able to enable the dark patch on the list. We're playing 2 dark patches, 1 counter gain, the Gravity Mountain for Dragapult. But really interesting list. Does play 2 Evos, so we can try to set up through Pidgeotto against Dragapult and other decks. What are you guys' thoughts on this Hydreigon list? They've been playing it since London also. Same thing.
Oh, wait, same 60? Oh, that's...
Yeah, same 60 since... I mean, like, I think the list is, like, very good and kind of slept on right now. Like, I played it today and I was like, I was against Cloth and I was like, okay, they take the first 2. I don't even care because I just win in 2 attacks. Right? Like, I sauce up the Squawk, kill it, mill 3, followed up by Obsidian the Latias for 4. Like it's like pretty good, like the turns you can set up with the Obsidian, because like there's not a lot of decks that can hit 330 right now.
Yeah.
What are you guys' thoughts on Hydreigon?
Cool. I think it has like a good and kind of bad weakness, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, true.
It's like grass. Like there's gonna be a lot of teal mask in your future.
Sure is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this build does a couple of cool innovations well, which is one is adding some like much needed consistency. And it's with the weird word I'm gonna say, but just the 7 darkness energies and the Greninja, right? Like this deck didn't have a lot of good ways to like get going.
Yeah.
And now you have more ways to say, okay, I have Greninja's draw engine, can discard a dark energy, draw 2. You combos well with your dark patches, but also just like more energy to have when you're playing Evo and stuff like that. I obviously Alyssa they've been cooking with for a little while, and I've had some good results. So again, that Arvin Zard type core build,
Yeah.
and with just the explosiveness of Neo Upper Energy and Obsidian. And I think really what's best about this list too, is like again, Hydreigon's first attack is just super slept on. Play against any like single prize briny deck like a Lost Box or like a Control, and you just start milling. And they can't beat that. They can't beat mill 3 up your deck every turn.
Well, it's funny you say that because I hit a Lost Box earlier. And so when they went Pikachu, I went sick, hit you for 200, mill 3. There was like 2 gates and a switch card.
Yeah, exactly. Like when you're playing against Lost Box, like you just mill some cards, you just like win on the spot. Like oh, you milled like 2 rods. It's like they probably lose. Like you milled 2 gates, they definitely lose. Like
I followed the next turn by bossing the Pikachu back up and taking 4 with Obsidian.
yeah, exactly. Right. It's ridiculous. And also even some cool plays like the Gravity Mountain, which you can use to one shot 2 Archeops. So
Yeah.
so
True.
with Obsidian, so like some nice play is available.
Cooking, Rose cooking.
Yeah, Nettie had the plays.
Yeah, so interesting to see this list do well. Almost got top 16, but did get a top 32 finish. Parker, what stood out to you? Any list in day 2 stand out to you?
You already know I had to shout out my boys. So 43rd place and 92nd place. I think somebody had day 2'd with something similar before.
Yeah,
and in Europe,
yeah,
but it's Garchomp, Okidogi, and Garchomp. I mean, Garchomp's actually a pretty insane attacker. You can just by itself like
the Hydro Lancer.
Yeah, like
this one fighting energy hits 160. Actually, I guess it's water type, so it's not hitting fighting this. But and you accelerate 3 basic fighting energies to your single prize Okidogi, which is hitting for 170 and it has 230 HP. So like just pretty solid. Honestly, I don't know anyone who would ever make these cards work, but
I
did
saw
a couple finishes in day 2.
I saw Pumpkin Amy playing a similar list like this today with Great Tusk EX, and she would like Hydro Lancer to the Great Tusk EX.
And that cannot be D.
Yeah.
Mill 5 cards from your deck.
Mill 5, yeah.
Mill 5. She would go like Arvin, put the important or whatever Irida, put the important cards in her hand and then attack with it. That way the important cards don't get milled.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, Chief. Also, isn't a retreat cost like 5? I don't think any Pokemon.
Yeah, like 4. Yeah, it's like 4.
Is it total under retreat cost of 5?
And I think it's 4.
Like some old whale lord or something back in the day. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it's trivia question coming up soon.
It is not.
No
Maybe the homework.
No way.
So yeah, interesting. I like this list a lot. I mean, it's,
Oh wait, Legacy Energy. Oh, the Legacy Energy so cracked in this.
and puts like Legacy on Okie Dokie. You're like,
You're swinging for 170, a single prize, a zero prize over 230. Yeah, that's just cruel.
yeah,
I love
that's pretty cruel. Fighting weakness is very relevant right now, so it's good to see. Max, what about you? What stood out today too for you?
I mean, of course, got to shout out James Cox, of course, right? We just had him on the pod just a little bit ago, down at 66th place. Showed up with the Frostless Monkey Dory, all the way. Again, I guess just missing out on top 64, but honestly, I didn't know we'd ever be seeing this deck again. But and especially this deep of a run,
And
you know,
this
Cox
player.
definitely. Yeah, the game's Cox is definitely utilizing the fact that he has an invite already and just saying I can kind of play whatever I want. I'm set and just show that hey, I'm a good player and I can show up with any pile, including multiple Frostless and Monkey Dories, and get it done.
Is Trolley like the normal ace spec, or is that's new, right?
I think a lot of them have played Stamp in the past. I think Trolley, since you're playing like the Irida, I mean, 4 Irida, 4 Arvin, like very, very consistent to find the Trolley.
Yeah.
I think that's really the key. I mean, no.
And 4 gear.
Pretty positive. Yeah, 4 gear, right? I mean, so you're always finding that turn 1 Trolley just to get the.
You go deck search Trolleys on the prizes, you just cry. Like, you literally cry because there's only 4 Nest Ball, 1 Ultra Ball.
No, you just play Iono and you draw into all your basics. It's fine.
So you just play Irida, right? Because you would just go get
0.
no right Nest Ball.
But you don't need. I mean, but you don't need Poffin. Right? You need 1 Trolley and then you need Trolls,
Right.
Defiant Fez, Blood Moon, and Monkey Doris.
But if you prize Trolley,
Just don't.
Just don't prize Trolley.
10% of the time, 90% of the time, it's never prize. Don't have to worry about it.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
87% of statistics are made up.
So that's pretty interesting to see. Some of the things that kind of stood out to me in day 2, I did see one Palkia player, just like a straight Palkia list.
Palkia
Tropicus, yeah. I mean, I like to see Palkia getting this lot. Palkia is one of my loves. It's dear near to my heart. Radiant Greninja is a great attacker. We got 2 E-Switch, 2 Trumpet. I was playing around a list like this very, early in the format. Good to see Palkia getting another finish. Got the Briar in here so you can Tropicus attack. Like that a lot.
I was just curious as a thing. Is there a reason people are playing the 70 HP Bidoof?
I was
Targetable, right?
But you can't hit the Bidoof on the bench, right?
Well, you can put damage on
60
it
HP.
though.
Yeah, it's
Can you?
yeah, it's not. It's
I think it's
it's
damage, right?
yeah, it's damage.
Oh,
why.
okay. Well, that makes sense. I thought it was like you couldn't put damage or
It's like the little Pulcha, not Pulcha guy, whatever the little Pulcha matcha guy.
Okay.
It's like it's not affected by like damage or effects of attacks on the bench, but less damage.
I was confused. I guess I just
It's not Rapska, bro.
True.
Any other call outs on the decks? Any unique decks in day 2? Cooking decks?
I was able to pull our predictions if we want to go through that real quick.
Oh, yeah, let's see them.
Yeah, so our predictions that we did last week is we were talking with the gang and saying which Radiant Pokemon would get first at this regional. And we check Isaiah Brandner's Gardevoir list, and it features no Radiant Pokemon. So we looked at second place. So we go to the second place list to see the highest placing Radiant, and we see that it was none other than Radiant Serena, which none of us picked. I picked Radiant Alakazam, Eric picked Radiant Charizard, and Parker picked Radiant Greninja. The winner does go to Parker at third place. Drew Elias Brunfield, shout out to them, with the Radiant Greninja in Archaladon.
That's actually crazy. The first and second didn't have a Radiant that we picked.
Hey! Radiant Serena's a Pokemon. Do not disrespect
That's the
Radiant
Radiant that
Serena.
we picked. Is what I said.
Okay. I said it's crazy that the first and second didn't have a Radiant. I was like, whoa, the Radiant Serena disrespect.
Okay, so what's the only Radiant that didn't get a day 2 page? Was it just Eevee?
Hey, whoa, there's still Brisbane left. There's still time. Radiant Chargebug, looking out for you.
No, Chargebug has a page, right?
Ain't no way.
yeah, Hisuian Zoroark.
I'm pretty sure it does.
Oh, he's doing Zoroark. Yeah, that's right.
Eevee doesn't, right?
Yo, when is Radiant EV control gonna be a thing?
So Radiant Eevee doesn't. This should have been my freaking question. There's so many good questions I could have made today, man.
Radiant.
Radiant Venusaur does not have one. No, no, come on. Heatran has one. Radiant This is Venusaur, unfortunately.
Radiant Venusaur's in like
Venusaur has one. It was
Yeah,
in
those
Durant.
I
I literally think it's only Eevee.
no, it's gotta be
Blastoise.
Steelix. There's no okay.
Yeah,
there's
Steelix
no
is unplayable.
Blastoise doesn't have one.
Steelix is unplayable.
Steelix
Yeah.
doesn't have one. All right, if you're listening to this podcast right now and you're going to Brisbane, I'm looking at you, Pokeduels. I need you to put one of these radios.
Put all 3 of them in. Get them all a page at one time.
I need you to put one of these radiants in your deck and make day 2. Okay?
Yo, someone call Brent Thomas and be like, "Hey, yo, how much to play?"
All right. Anyways, okay. So back to the results. That was fun.
Yeah.
It was predictions. What else?
Yeah. Our final prediction was which rotating deck would have the highest finish. I picked Turbo Lost Box. Eric picked Snorlax, which finished all the way in 7th place, but our winner was Parker once again, who picked Lugia as the highest placing rotating deck at 6th place.
Boo. To be fair, we both got top 8, right? So
To be fair, Parker was ahead of you, so you're on the side. No, I should.
We both got.
No. It says Tom got 6th with Lugia V-Star, and says Nicholas got 7th with Snorlax. If it says they both got 6th, then it's a tie, but it's not. Meanwhile, the highest placing Turbo Lost Box got 18th place with Dean.
Yeah. Interesting.
Shout out to Parker for sweeping the predictions.
Thanks.
Even though we all didn't really do that good with the predictions. I was gonna say Rating Serena was my second pick behind Alakazam.
Sure. Sure it was, bud.
Surely.
Honestly, Pidgeot Control as a rotating deck was probably the winner.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean,
or
I've already sent you a Pidgeot control list. It's not rotating, bro. We're gonna talk with Alessandro here very soon, and we'll get his take on is Pidgeot control rotating.
I was gonna say is Rating Serena rotating. Yes, Rating Serena is rotating. But Pidgeot Control, we'll see what Alessandro says.
So a couple other small things while we close up our Stockholm discussion. I did want to show they had a new graphic on the stream. Day 2 conversion rate. So it showed how many people played this archetype, plus how many people made day 2, and then equated it to a percentage in a nice little graphic. It's always something that players are monitoring. I like to see this graphic is here, and I hope that we continue to get this graphic. So Dragapult only had a 14% conversion rate to day 2, while we saw Gardevoir shoot up to 26%, Lugia 26%, Miraidon 26%, Cloth 25%, and Goldango 13%. Is there anything here? What's going on with Dragapult? Are people trying to figure out how to solve the matchup? Is Dragapult is it on the downslide? I mean, we got Clefairy coming too. I mean, sell your Dragapults now?
I think it's just it's the most played thing, so obviously it looks bad. It had the most in day 2 as well, but
True, it did. It did.
Yeah, again, for everyone who's not familiar, we're talking about the conversion rates, right? We're saying this was a graphic done based off of, hey, here's the day 2 analysis. So these were the 6 decks that are most played in day 2, and then here's how well they converted. So typically, if it's even conversion, right, we say, hey, if 20 people are playing, Dragapult, basically, we'd expect a similar percentage to what was played in day 1 to convert, assuming all players are skilled equally or all decks are positioned equally. But in this case, right, Dragapult, often the most popular deck, kind of can't keep up with the demand of the room, where it says, hey, 20% of people played Dragapult. Not all of them are going to be as skilled with it, even though it is a very powerful deck, so it's going to convert lower from there. I normally look the big standouts are who converted the best compared to what they played. So when I look at Cloth, which was on the best of the rest graphic, 5% of the room in day 1, all the way up to 8% in day 2, which isn't a big jump, but 25% of Cloth players that played it converted. So that being a huge jump. And in similar way, all these decks in the middle had a very high conversion rate. So people who chose to play them converted very well. And I think that makes sense. That's what we saw a lot of top players picking that, did well in the tournament.
Yeah. And Lugia's still doing Lugia things.
Yeah. One more tournament to fly high in Brisbane, and then back in the binders.
You know who didn't play Lugia?
Rahul ready to.
Rahul did not play Lugia.
And Parker even said in his prediction that, this expecting Rahul ready to show up with Lugia and fly high. But did not.
Got bailed out by someone else.
Instead, it was Tom Hellkamp who flew high. Thanks, Tom. So,
Yeah, look at our child on fake fraud alert.
Broad deck. I've been saying it. You've heard it on the pod.
It got third.
It got the third. It keeps getting like one top 8, but like it just doesn't convert well. Over.
Fraud deck. I lost one in top 8. Archaladon, certified fraud deck. But no, shout out Julius. Again, there's always one doing well in top 8. I think it's well positioned for like next formats, but like it one spikes the event, but like other than that, we don't really see too much of it.
Yeah.
I do think it is in a little better spot post rotation, just as like the format gets simpler. But I know we're coming to y'all with some more deep dive post rotation content a little bit closer to Atlanta.
What's this dive thing that's all over Twitter, by the way? Can somebody fill in?
Is that
I don't know. There's like this like bottle and ice.
Oh, you don't get. Oh
and-
my gosh.
this
Eric,
guy.
how are you on Twitter and you do not know this?
Don't know. Come on, fill me in.
This guy filmed his morning routine in which he wakes up at 4 a.m. Does all this ridiculous stuff like wiping a banana peel on his face and like dipping his face in ice
and the jumping thing is specifically like there's a clip of him like jumping into the water because he's going for a swim, and it's like when he's like starts to jump, it's 7:36 a.m. and when he enters the water, it's 7:40 a.m. like mid jump. So they're like, bro was in the air for 4 minutes. Like,
yeah.
Okay, all right. So it was just a random guy that just blew up or something. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, so before we move on to the interview with Alessandro, we gotta have a discussion. Who is now the best player without a victory after Isaiah Bradner took down Stockholm? Players that come to mind are like Grant Manley, Rahul Reddy, players of that kind of caliber. What do you think, Parker? Who's the best player without a victory besides yourself?
It's definitely not me. So a victory of his may predate Limitless. Kyle Sablehouse.
Oh, you think he's the best player without a victory?
He was pretty dang good. His brother was like a little better, but his brother played more.
Okay.
Yeah, any wins?
Not
just
on Limitless. It may predate Limitless.
It might
because I know like Jay Witz has won a regional. I'm pretty sure, but like that's not on Limitless.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I guess for me, like thinking like modern era stuff, right? I mean, some of the immediate names that come to mind are right? The Grant Manley and Rahul Reddy, I think, is two standout North American players without the major win. I'm trying to remember, I think when John Eng won, I think there was like an interview or something about kind of like, hey, best player without a win. And I think he gave some credit to Isaiah Bradner as kind of, it was like, hey, are you the best player now as your win type of thing? He's like, hey, well, no, Isaiah Bradner's been very, very good and still needs the win. I think second he said Grant Manley. So I'll go with John Eng and shout out fellow American Grant Manley as the remaining holdout who is very due.
Yeah,
once he gets over his streak of horrible bad luck. Check out
worst luck ever or whatever it was.
ESPN premium article.
Oh, that ESPN thing was so funny.
Check out the ESPN premium article. It's not a real article, but the article by I'm blank, Caleb Gettimer.
Oh yeah, Caleb
about
that's right.
Grant Manley's terrible luck. So.
Okay. Yeah, I also think it's Grant Manley. I mean, I'm sure there's someone we're forgetting in a different region that like has Carlos won?
Carlos Medina?
Medina?
He's close. He's in the conversation.
I mean, he's not.
He's in the conversation.
Carlos is a great guy, but he's not as good as.
I mean, he's got a lot of top 8s, right?
I mean, he's more
right?
recent. I mean, he's a pretty. I think he's kind of too fresh to the game.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, he has 3 top 8s, 2 of them at special events.
Yeah, that's a good bit of top 8s though.
Fabian Pujol.
What'd you say?
Fabian.
Oh, Fabian. Yeah, Fabian.
That's the name that comes to mind for me.
Yeah, Fabian's a good name.
If Kyle has
I was trying to think
win.
of like some other European names that like. I mean, Oscar Madsen's recently on the scene. He's been playing very well.
Yeah.
Does Kieran have a one? Kieran won, right?
No.
The problem is Kieran's only like he's a 1 deck guy. So like, is he in that conversation?
One trick pony.
Yeah, stuff like this are always hard to say.
It's hard to say, right? Yeah.
I'm trying to see modern era of like points.
Oh, modern era points. You can do that.
I'm trying to check like Limitless and try to see some of the pieces. Like, right? I mean, Gustavo Wada definitely has a win, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Well, he has
Yeah,
like
he's
a
good.
million senior
Well, yeah,
wins
he's
too.
two IC wins, yeah.
How are you doing that?
I want player rankings a limitless. But I mean,
No.
yeah, great. I mean,
Wait.
like, like Roll Ready's like number 7 on points in the modern era. We know he doesn't have a win. And then Grant Manley,
How do you
10th
do
on
that?
points. And
The
just
rankings. There's a
go to
ranking
tool.
section
Yeah,
on
go
top
to
Oh,
right.
rankings. Some limitless
rankings.
TCG. So
You
for everyone who's not
I've
watching,
probably never
for-
like gone on that.
I've never this.
well, now y'all know. If you're a limitless nerd like me, there's plenty of stuff to see on limitlesstcg.com while we're just scroll around. So
Wait, is Moffat one?
I
No.
don't think Moffat's one.
Moffat's in that conversation. Moffat's definitely in that conversation.
I think and I think I'm curious how how others would define this conversation as well. I think some of like length of playing the game as well as like previous if you're successful in the lower divisions, then there's kind of that expectation that like, hey, you'll continue that in the Masters division and get that win type of thing. Yeah, I think Moffat's very good, just at a lower sense than some of the other folks we mentioned.
Yeah. Just kind of looking around. Yeah, I mean, those are some
Smart,
interesting names.
possibly.
I mean, Grant's definitely up there if you look towards the top, like points wise,
All
like
right.
I was saying. So Grant and Rahul are like neck and neck, 3 points apart on the rankings. So I mean, I think it's kind of take your poison there, but Grant does definitely like Grant sticks out to me pretty much. You know, the variety of decks he plays and the caliber player we know he is. Okay. That's gonna do it for our Stockholm review and conversation. But we do want to provide some more Stockholm content to you. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the Alessandro Cremascoli interview where we'll talk all things Pidgeot control. If you're not a control enjoyer, listen to it anyways. You'll learn something. The interview's up next, and this is Alessandro. Hey everyone, my name is Eric Ridgway. I'm the host of the Beach Court Podcast. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. And if you're enjoying it, please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe on this video on YouTube. It really help out the podcast a lot. We've got more episodes, highlights, and more coming your way. Thanks for listening. And now back to the show. All right, we're joined here live with Alessandro Cremascoli. He's just got back, and it's nighttime for him. He's ready to go to sleep, but he's thankful to join us. Talk all things Pidgeot control. Alessandro, how was your travels back home? How you feeling? Are you tired? Did you get a full night's sleep last night?
I mean, at the same time, I'm grateful that you finally pronounce correct my surname. So well done. But at the same time, I mean, it's 9 p.m. here, so I'm not that old. I mean, I'm
Okay.
older, and I'm
Okay.
getting older and older and older. But I mean, I'm coming to sleep in half an hour at least.
See,
Stuff like that.
yeah. If it was me at 9 p.m., I'm gonna be out.
Yeah, just tell us
No,
when
no,
you
I'm
start.
fine.
Yeah.
I'm
When you start
fine,
falling
I'm fine. I
asleep,
just
we'll
go
cut the
back
interview.
from Sweden. I lost my flight because of Isaiah, that bad guy.
Oh
And
no.
yeah. But no, I'm fine. I'm really happy, really happy. I wanted to say a proper last goodbye to my deck, and I got it in the best way. Got in my top 8.
Yeah.
Really happy.
I still remember like very vividly last year at NAIC when I first met you. Like you were in the corner in New Orleans, like just cooking with people. Like, how do we beat this? How do we beat that? How do I make the deck to beat this? So we'll jump into what you did this tournament to beat the meta in a little bit. But first, a lot of our listeners might not know you very well. I know, like when I reached out to you, I didn't know you very well. Some of the things. So let's get to know you a little bit. So my first question is, what got you into playing Pokemon?
Whoa, okay. Hi, everyone, especially friends from the US. I'm an Italian player, and I started to play 24 years ago. So most of you weren't even born, and I'm feeling even older for that. So I honestly play Pokemon because when I was young, Pokemon were just everywhere. It was an amazing phenomenon, and I completely fell in love of Caterpie at the first sight. Here, I was used to play Pokemon everything, the cards, the video game, the Lamin cards, literally everything. I love play Pokemon because why not? It's an amazing community. There are a great picture on everything. Pokemon are cute, even at this point. I don't remember the name of half of them. So I'm keep playing Pokemon because it's my life. My dad play Pokemon with me. He's almost 60, and my son, I hope he will play Pokemon with me when he will become the right age. So what else? I'm a Pokemon player. I'm a Pokemon streamer, even though I'm opening a card shop in Italy now, so I don't have much
Oh,
time to stream anymore. Yeah, it's a big project. It will be a huge shop,
yeah.
like 150 seat for
Wow.
let everyone play, not just Pokemon,
Right.
literally
Yeah.
everything. So
Yeah.
this is like a project of my life that is becoming real, and I'm trying to focus on that. So my live stream and my video are for a moment a stop for that.
Right. Right.
So I'm building, I'm growing, I'm doing stuff.
That's cool.
Alessandro, I know you have the family connections. I think, and haven't you had all 3 generations enter a tournament before? And I think that there's a
Yeah,
rule that's in place for juniors because of you. If you want to tell the audience about that a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know that I'm not the best friend of Pokemon Company. They hate me for so many reasons, and most of them are my fault. But honestly, that wasn't my fault. Like I just wanted to make a picture with the 3 generation of Cremascoli in a tournament. That would be my son, me, and my father playing the same tournament. So I have this beautiful picture all together. Honestly, I didn't think I create such a mess. Like at that time, there wasn't any rule to forbid a, a young player to play. So my son was 6 months old, or even less, something like
Yeah.
4 months old, something like that. And I registered legally and normally for a Pokemon tournament. So when I was starting, me and my dad were starting our first round. My wife bring my son to a table. He
Table.
literally put on the table because he was crawling, almost crawling around, and we immediately drop him for the tournament. So nothing changed. I mean, no one was hurt beside the card that my son was eating during this. And it was very funny, but apparently I messed up with the big company, so sorry about that. Also, after the tournament, they changed the rule. Now only at least 6 years old player can play tournament, and it was a funny story
Mhm.
because a lot of Poké Dad brought me on Twitter say,
Yeah.
Alex, you did it again. It was you. I mean, no. I mean, it was not me. I didn't do nothing. It was my son. But you can you can
Yeah.
you can blame him. You can blame him.
Uh,
But yeah,
Listen,
that's a
when he's
rule.
old enough to like watch and look at that memory, he's gonna love it. That's
oh
gonna
yeah.
I,
be
Mhm.
a
so
great
I,
memory.
I'm gonna convince him that it
Mhm.
was completely his fault, not on me.
Okay, that's fair.
I want everyone to blame him.
I'm sure he was there refreshing on his iPad, making sure you get it into registration, right? So
That's great. So you mentioned that your love for Caterpie. So I'm gonna assume that your favorite Pokemon is Caterpie.
Yeah.
What about your favorite trainer? Are you also are you in love with Misty because she was so scared of Caterpie, or what's your favorite trainer?
No, honestly, I don't have one. I don't really. Yeah, red. Yeah, if I
Right
have to
now.
think about one, yeah, because in the video game it was
Mhm.
basically mute. He
Yeah.
didn't say no. He has such a big aura behind
Mhm.
him, even if he's saying nothing. So I just that.
Okay.
No,
Li-
I didn't. I mean, I completely love all of the old game
yeah.
because it was my generation. So Pokemon
Right.
Yellow, Pokemon Crystal, I played that and I love them. But I wasn't. I was never a really passionate guy about any trainer or the anime or series or just that. Yeah, my
So
my
that
word
leads
is
me
the card.
so it leads me right into the next question. What's your favorite Pokemon game that you've ever played?
Yellow.
Yeah.
No,
Yellow.
Yeah.
yeah, Crystal because it's a combined story of
Mhm.
Yoto
Yeah.
and Kanto.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
would say Crystal.
So Crystal. Okay. Crystal was a great game. I mean, that was a good one.
and Caterpie's in it. Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
So
Caterpie is everywhere.
Exactly. Yeah.
Even if people don't realize it, Caterpie is inside our heart, because without Caterpie we would never have a story about Pokemon, because Ash was basically a useless guy, and Caterpie sacrificed himself in order to help this poor guy. So it's a beautiful thing. It's a Caterpie. Caterpie is everything. It's everywhere.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, so talk about keep expounding on that a little bit. Is that where your YouTube channel name came from? Is iCaterpie? What made you come up with iCaterpie?
I'm always been very lazy with the zero creative guy. So I like Caterpie. My wife suggested to put an I behind the SA.
There you
Sure,
go.
why not?
Okay, simple.
Like, iPhones are hip. iCaterpie can be the
Yeah.
next new thing.
Yeah, true.
And it's
I-
stuck.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
it
I mean,
worked.
yeah, of course, I can dig deeper into that. Like, I Caterpie in English means hi, like hello. So
Oh, okay.
hi Caterpie, and if you want to say an introspective point of view, it's hi Caterpie. So me Caterpie as a first person, and the same person in Italian. The letter I means E in plural, that means caterpies.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
but he has a lot of sense, but I didn't want to bore everyone about that. So
I mean, that's good. I mean, we like to know these backstories. That's what brings us to people to podcasts is hearing your backstories, what you love to do, and people know that you love to play Control, and we'll get into that in just a second. But I got one more question for you. What do you like to do when you're not playing Pokemon or not involved with Pokemon? You like to stream. You're building a TCG shop. You just talked about. Outside of that, what do you like to do for like personal life?
I mean, I have a 2 year son now, so I don't have a time for anything in my life, literally. So what I used to love a
Yeah.
couple years ago, I love to play all of the League of Legends world. So
Oh, really?
League of Legends, TFT. I play Call of Duty. I used to play a lot of video game. Then I became a dad, and now I have time for nothing. Literally
Yeah,
nothing. Like
that's fair.
in order to come here with you, I have to force my wife to put my son into bed. So she's gonna hate me a lot for that.
Oh, we'll tell her
So
we're very thankful.
yeah. You're gonna see. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it, Eric.
All right.
All right.
You want to go on, Max? Next topic?
Yeah, again, lately, again, you've been playing for quite a while, right? Multiple time Italian national champion way back in the day in the international champions. More recently, a top 4 EUIC a couple of years ago, recently a finalist position, also a regional champion back in 2019. We see a lot of control pieces. I know you haven't
Yeah,
always played control.
You're
but
gonna
we
see that on Limitless while you're talking, or
yeah. I was double checking like just how many other control
Yeah,
variants
exactly.
you've played, right?
It
Because
seems like that.
I'm looking at all these, but I knew the national championships from earlier in the year, right? From 2010 and all that. So, but I mean,
Yeah.
you've played a lot of different decks over the years, but recently, you've been in Pidgeot control or a quick break with walls and things like that. So, I mean, tell us a little about like how you got, into Pidgeot control and like this counter decks, because most people see these decks like, oh my gosh, it's control, but you've been playing it so consistently and been enjoying it and playing it at such a high level, some of the highest in the game. So like what about Pidgeot and control and all these elements gets you excited and gets you excited to
Okay.
sleep it up?
So I to me, playing competitively means that you try every year to qualify for Worlds, and you play international tournament. I started to play competitive in 2003. That was my first season, and all of the format was completely different. That was the first year when we have 3 different categories: junior, senior, and master. Because before of that, there was only 2 categories: over 16 or under 16, or nothing. You couldn't play. And in that moment, I was a huge fan of water Pokemon. I was, of course, really young. I was a first year senior, and I play my 3 year of senior with only deck with water Pokemon, because water Pokemon were the best. My nickname was Water Master, and I love water Pokemon. Politude, Milotic, all of that stuff. Then I became a master. The first year of master, I judge. I was the first and the youngest judge in Italy to have to be a head judge to a national tournament. At that moment, I wasn't a professor anymore, but I could still judge. The second year master, I arrived second in my national tournament with a meme deck. And I love playing meme deck.
Me
Because when
too.
you play a meme deck and you made second in a huge tournament like was a national tournament, you are a god. So when you see someone win the world championship with Mega Audino, you know that you are on the right path. Because if someone can win the world championship with Audino, you can do the same. Of course, I could never. But I really tried. Until the world championship. I don't remember the year, the 2000 and something in Nashville when Robin Schulz won.
Mhm.
I don't remember the year, 2017,
Oh, no, Murray's in the net.
2018, something like that. And until that moment, I always play meme deck. I mean, not meme, but rogue deck. Like
Rogue deck. Yeah,
something
I'm a
that,
big rogue deck enjoyer, man. I
okay,
love playing
so
Palkia, like
something
when it's good or
exactly
bad.
something that usually no one
Yeah,
really
exactly.
wants to play. No, they don't give attention to that. I love that because since no one is playing that, means that if I can get a result with that, I will be someone.
Yeah.
And everything changed during that World Championship because that was the first huge tournament when my rogue deck was so bad, like so bad that all of my friends literally throw my deck away before the tournament and give me a new one because they didn't want to completely wait. I mean, it was so bad. Well, like I play a really bad deck during the many World Championship, but that deck was something that no one should ever play. And they give me a Buzzwole Garbodor. It was an amazing deck. I made an amazing tournament. I win 6-0 during the day 1, 5-0 during the day 2, and I almost got my top 8. That will be the first top 8 in a World Championship for me, even as I tried for a long time. Then the judge came. Apparently, I made a deck list error. I have a penalty. I got out of my tournament, and that was something. It's like something changed in me
Right.
because for the first time I played a real deck, and I almost got the top 8 at World Championship. So maybe if I can always play a good deck, I can actually compete with the good player. And 2 months later, I create the Regigigas Upa, and that was my first control deck. Because previously, I never thought about control. I didn't know about control. I never play control. I didn't know. But when I create that, it was so satisfying see my opponent's face when he realized there will be nothing he could do to win that game. Even if I'm not even attacking. I was just here watching him and he couldn't do nothing. It was so good. Like so satisfying, so good.
So
He
true
ate
trench coat
me.
villain Maddox.
Yeah, my opponent ate me so much, and I love that. I love it. My dad was my first victim. He has no idea what he was playing against, and he ate me so much for that. And then I had a really good season. I won a regional championship. I made the second to 2 special premier event, top 32 at NIC. I made a really good season with the deck. And I played that deck for the whole of the season until he rotated a year later. And I like that. I really like play control, anti-meta, because most of the people are used to change deck every tournament. I really like to build something and keep adapt to all of the new set, all of the new format, all of the new cards that came up. It was really challenging. It was super hard, but super challenging, and in the end, super fun. From that, I just continue. So Regigiga Supa, Oranguru Pidgeot, I play Gudra because I had now no more control cards to play, so I have to play Gudra. Then the new Pidgeot X came, Mimic Yuajapon. I think I find my path because if you wanted to look at that more deeply, I already say that I'm playing since a really long time, and if I stop a challenge myself, I'm getting really bored. So
Right. Right.
I like play this way because it's an unconventional way to play. It's really hard. Build what I'm used to build. It's even harder to play, and I'm having fun. I know that you probably saw the stream on Stockholm. I saw a lot of.
Yeah.
What I'm used to do after every tournament, I rewatch my game. Not because my game. I don't.
You weren't watch the
it's already.
comments.
Yeah, I'm already boring the first time that I won. I don't want to see another time, but I want to see the comment because I wanted to know what people think about me, my deck, the whole situation. And I was so surprised. In the game against Fabienne, most of the people had no idea about what's happening. It
Yeah.
was they saw just two people, one in front of the other, just pass. They don't even understand that I was attacking with my wife.
Yeah.
They thought I was just passing. And most of the comments were, "Oh, so play control, it's really easy." It's not.
It's
Because
not. Yeah.
in order to arrive at that situation, it took me months of work and thousands of hours to analyze every deck in every tournament of Play Limitless. There are like 6,000 game, and I
Wow.
work really hard to build something, to create something that's allow myself to get there. It's like when you, I don't know, when you turn up the radio. Oh, there's music. It's easy. No, that's not easy. There's nothing easy about what I'm doing. Even if I look like it is, and I'm really happy to people that think it's easy, but it's not. And I'm enjoying that. I'm honestly enjoying that. To me, it's fun.
Yeah, no, I mean control's great. I mean, really, it when it's working and you're everything's going together, it's a true piece of art. You talk about the comments. I remember, and during finals, there's people on YouTube like saying, "Hey, this sucks." And I'm like, if you guys don't enjoy this, then you just don't enjoy Pokemon because like this form of Pokemon, like you versus Isaiah in the finals was like peak Pokemon. Like you both were playing at extremely high levels that game. And there was just so much gamesmanship going back and forth, and
Yeah, exactly. But
it
my game against
really was peak
Isaiah,
Pokemon.
my game against Isaiah, I know that most of the people, especially the new player, might. I don't want to say the bad player.
Sure.
I just say the new
New
player
player, yeah.
might see that and say, "Oh no, Isaiah is doing nothing. He just attacked with Budio. Oh no, Alessandro is doing nothing. He just drew with Rotom." But behind every move that he made, behind every move that I made later, we were considering thousands of possibilities behind every action of every player. It's really close to a chess game compared to a
Yeah,
Pokemon game.
yeah, it really
Because,
was.
of course, when you're playing something like Lugia, Miraidon, Goldengo, of course it's more satisfying because you draw a lot of cards, you shuffle your deck a lot of time, you attack a lot of energy, you make a lot of damage. Of course, it's more interactive, it's more satisfying. I can understand that. It just to me, it's not fun because everyone is able to attack an energy, make some damage, and take a prize.
Right.
Not everyone might be able to do what I used to do with my deck. So, and if you don't understand it, maybe it's just because you didn't try it. So I'm not saying that everyone should love control. It's not for everyone. My dad is the first one that would never be able to play a control deck, and I know for sure that a lot of people try to play control and they couldn't because it's really complicated. And I'm not saying that you should love it, not even that you should admire it or respect it. I really wish you just don't hate it.
Yeah,
Like,
just try.
it's,
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
like I'm not trying to kill anyone
respect
playing
it,
control.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just trying to enjoy this part of the game. It's not, there's no one say that I have to take prize to win.
Right.
If there are 3 different win conditions, if I can use another one instead of taking prize, why not?
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, those type of decks are great. And so speaking of types of decks, when you build Pidgeot control and this, especially how it's been lately, you've got to make sure that you've analyzed the meta and that your deck is prepared to handle not everything, but most things. So as you were going into Stockholm, what were the top 3 decks that you were most preparing for? And what were some of the matchups you didn't want to see?
With my list, I had something really close to an auto win to the most common list of Goldingo, Miraidon, Dragapult with no Dusknoir, Gardevoir not with the Isaiah list. That I never saw the Isaiah list before. I was really more comfortable with the Fabian list. Um, yeah, basically something like that. Charizard. Um, there was something that I don't want to face, like Ancient Box,
Angel
Rory
Bucks.
Moon. I was not expecting Ancient Box. That's why
Yeah.
my deck was not prepared for that.
Right.
And even if I actually face and win against one Rory Moon, it was not an easy game. Lugia is something that you should never want to do. You never wanted to face a Lugia because 50% of the time he break himself, and the other 50% of the time is the best deck in format that no one can stop.
Okay.
What I'm really struggled to win was the Dragapult Dusknoir matchup because before of during the last month, I always used to play the combination of Kyurem, the Black Kyurem, Alakazam, Enamorus, Counter Gain, Psychic Energy. I had in my deck 7 cards just for that matchup, and I lost anyway. So during the last 10 days, I play a lot with Liam, and we try to figure it out a different way, different approach. He recommend Milotic X. I try it, it didn't work. And in the next set, if you're thinking about playing a Pidgeot deck with Milotic against Dragapult Dusknoir, don't. It's not a win.
Doesn't work.
solution.
Doesn't
No.
work.
And we analyze the deck and we try to think from another perspective. So, what if instead of being prepared to Dusknoir, we try to let never get them on Dusknoir? So, Budew, Calamitus, and it was a beautiful win condition. Of
Mm.
course, I was prepared for it and I faced 0. So,
That's how it goes, right?
That's how it goes.
yeah.
Every
Also,
time we've played Miraidon,
I
we
put in
faced
the
0
deck
Lugias. That's
the
just how it goes.
festival stadium because of Cloth, and of course I faced 0. So
Oh, you
Oh.
played at Festival Grounds?
Yeah, you played Festival
yeah, I play
Grounds.
festival grounds
Yeah.
in order to avoid the
That's-
it's I mean festival grounds. It's a stadium that
Mhm.
allow the festival Pokemon to attack
Mhm.
twice. Amazing, but it
Mhm.
also has an effect.
Yeah, most
the
people forget the
Pokemon,
effect.
Exactly, Pokemon can be effective, but special condition
conditions.
if you have energy. Both Pokemon, not just mine Pokemon.
Mhm.
So they can't poison me, but
And
also they can poison
Poison
themselves.
themselves. They can
Exactly.
poison the Badoo, and that's
Cloth,
it. Yeah.
Cloth can't do any damage, and that was a beautiful win condition. I
No,
mean,
it's funny.
I assure you, I never faced any Cloth in the tournament, but I assure you it was a beautiful win condition.
Yeah, that's
Love it.
funny. Yeah. So early in the tournament, you're through 3 rounds. You've tied once. You lost once to a Lugia, and you won the other round. At that moment in the tournament, did you have any regrets? What were your thoughts on your deck choice and how you built your deck? Kind of like what was your mindset at that moment in the tournament before going into round 4?
No, I mean, until I lost my second game, I know I'm still in the game. So, if you wanted to see from this perspective, if you're losing an early game, means that you will face an opponent that lose an early game as well.
Yeah.
And most of the time, the good player are the player with the whole of the win rate clear. So if you face a real pro player, probably you are 3-0, 4-0. You're not 0-1-1 or stuff like that. So it's easier.
Yeah.
Of course, this is just statistically speaking, because a lot of good player always start with 0-1-1, 0-2, etc. But until I lost my second game, I knew I was in the game. So um, I mean, I came to Stockholm just for say goodbye to Pidgeot. I didn't want to make results because I didn't think I could. And also, I was already thinking about the next format. I was preparing for NIC. Then a beautiful second place came, and suddenly I don't have to worry about my top 22 anymore because I got
There you
I
go.
got all of the points that I need.
There you go.
But at the end of the tournament, I told everyone that I was really happy. Not just because of the result. Of course, I'm sad because I didn't win, but overall, I was really happy because I work really hard on my list. I test a lot the list, and in my situation with the kid, with the shop, with everything, find the time to work so hard on the deck. It was not something that I'm used to do anymore, and I'm really proud of that.
Yeah.
And the result was a beautiful uh, consideration of everything. I played during the tournament really well. The game that I didn't play on stream were the game with even the more satisfying results, because I win a top 8 against Lugia. It was an incredible difficult game, and I won my second game without even play Pidgeot. It
Wow.
was insane. Like, if you
Tell us
have,
about
like,
it.
yeah, if you have like a minimal understanding of my deck, you know how hard is play without a Pidgeot, and I won a game 2-0 against Lugia with no Pidgeot. It was insane. It was like a mind game. I use a bait. I had to use everything in my power to play an impossible situation, and I made it. It was amazing, and I'm really proud of myself. I work a lot. My deck was great. My game was great. Of course, all of the tournament was a beautiful end. So I'm really glad. Also, I lost in stream against Isaiah, and I didn't make a mistake this time. So let's go.
There we go. So no,
Yeah.
I think definitely
ahead.
a great send off, right? I mean, again, you've been, one of the strongest Pidgeot control players while the deck has been in its full form, as we talked about it. So I think great that you've gotten to, show that
Thank
off
you.
and yeah, a fitting second place for that. So I know we do want to talk about your finals some. I just want to say, were there any other like highlight matches throughout your Swiss run that you wanted to talk about? I know we saw a few of them on stream. If anything else, or if you just want to get into finals.
I'm really glad. I was lucky, of course. If you arrive in second place, you have to be lucky. And if everyone told you different, they're wrong. This is a game. And if you're not playing chess, every other game has a part of luck. We are playing a card game, so you have to be lucky at some point to get the result. I was lucky with the pairings, and I was lucky with the draw. I was lucky with the top deck, but also I was lucky to face good opponent, like a decent human being. The Pokemon community is amazing, but not everyone wanted to play completely fair. And I was lucky because I faced a game against Miraidon. We both want to win that game, so that allow us to play 3 game. And he was in his power to real slow play, really
Right,
slow,
yeah.
really stall, and he didn't. He just realized that at some point, after 15 minutes, he will lose. So he just coop without wasting us 15 minutes. Like, I'm not saying that he let me win. I'm saying that if he wanted to play dirty, I had to call the judge. We have to have a discussion. We have to create a negative environment. At the end, I would win anyway. But I always appreciate when people realize that at some point they will lose the game, and they understand, they accept it, and with real sportsmanship, they decide to sign the slip.
Yeah.
I repeat, I'm not saying that people have to concede immediately if they lose. Like if playing slow, not without stalling, if you're playing slow, you can take the tie and you want the tie, you should get it. You should never play for your opponent. But if you have to break the rules in order to get the win or the tie, I don't think you should do that. And
Yep.
during the tournament, I face good player
That's
that
good.
just play their best, and that was something that helped me. I had good pairings. I faced two Dragapult, one Goldengo. Um, even if I was unlucky in a game with the pairings, with the prize, my opponent was unlucky in the next one. Overall, it was a good tournament. My run at the last UIC when I made top 4 was something amazing, nothing to compare. This tournament was fine. It was full of good player. I made an amazing result. I'm really happy. And
Yeah, so
I
let's
hope,
talk about.
I really hope that if you saw the top 4 match against Julius, I really hope that you understand the irony that we made. Me and Julius are friends, and I saw a lot of people thought that I was complaining about the top deck
No,
of my opponent.
absolutely
I
not.
saw a lot of people write mean stuff about me. I was chilling against a friend. No, we were already made top 4. Even it was money involved. When you play against a friend, we don't really care about the result. So we were chilling. I try to have fun because that's how I used to play.
Yeah.
If I make gestures because I'm Italian and I like the way that I am. So don't try to see something mean
No,
in
I
everyone.
mean, I think that's just social media in general. Don't look into that too much. I mean, I know specifically me, I was watching it and I'm like, they're having a great time. He's pointing to the judges. He's pointing to the
Ye
judges. Like,
I mean, I know
so you guys are
my
having so
opponent
much
is a
fun.
friend, the judge was a friend,
Yeah, I could tell the judge was a friend.
public
Yeah.
that was calling it was a friend, so we were really chilling.
Yeah.
So
Well, let's jump into the finals match versus Isaiah, and we're gonna fast forward through, getting to the scenario, which I know there's a lot of pieces that come into the scenario. But there was a time in the match where Isaiah had 2 Monkey Dories on the field, removed his Badoo, and you almost had the lock on the Badoo on the Monkey Dory, right? It was like a 6 or 7 card combo you needed that turn to get the lock off, and it looks like the last piece you're missing really was that mist energy.
I missed one.
Yeah, the mist
I mean,
energy.
actually, no. I missed 1 out of 5
Out of
of
5.
the cards
Okay.
that I have in the deck. I had
Okay.
my deck was like 22 cards or something like that.
Okay.
I had 5 pieces that allow me to create a situation where in 2 turn I had the win, and that's why I was trying to take time
Right.
with the penny loop. In the moment that
Right,
I
because
finished
every
my
draw
penny
you were
loop,
hoping to top deck one of those pieces
yeah,
that you needed.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And so
Even take the penny that I put back with Palpal would be fine for me.
yeah. Yeah, there was a turn where you didn't pad back the pennies that it did seem like if you put those pennies back in the deck, it increased your outs to 3 instead of 1. At one point. Is there did you feel that way, or what was the thought on keeping the pad in hand in that situation?
It was a bait. It
It was
was
a
a
bait.
bait to see if my opponent at some point changed his play style.
Okay.
Because it was like I knew that I'm missing a piece, and I was missing a piece because I flipped a double taste on Silene before.
Yep.
Right.
And I was not prepared to that. I was counting to at least 1, so I had to change my strategy. And I was always behind 1 card, and at some point I had to change something, hoping that my opponent took a bait, hoping that my opponent would made a mistake, hoping that my opponent would feel the pressure. But he plays super conservative. But seeing his list later, I realized that
You
he
could have played it
wasn't just
differently.
conservative. Yeah, he just didn't have anything. And I couldn't play anything different because I didn't know his list. Like, he didn't play boss,
Right.
but I didn't know. If
Right.
I knew he didn't play boss, I would have won 5 turn here. I just
Correct.
bossed the guard when the game was over, but I didn't know. I didn't know about the 6 psychic. I thought he has 7. So when you play control, you need some information. When you don't have specific information, you play with the statistic.
Right.
Statistically speaking, in the first game I had to play like I was playing against every other deck list. So 7
Yep.
psychic, at least 1 boss
One boss.
order. I knew that he had the devolution, so I needed a combo of 3 card to take the lock.
Right.
Mawile, Mist Energy, and Defiance Vest. I need
Yeah.
those 3 cards. I already had Mawile and the Mist Energy in my hand, so I needed the Defiance Vest. So why I was taking time? 1 card is out of 20, it's not good. But in the deck, I also play DT, the Festival Ground, and this combination was fine for me anyway, because if I attack a Festival Ground, if I attack the DT and the Festival Ground, it couldn't confuse me.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
So even through that card would be fine. And why at some point I tried to coin flip. A lot of people didn't understand why I didn't attack the Mist. If I attack the Mist and he realized that I only have 1 Mist because I was really conservative with that, and he knock out my Mawile, then I needed to play the second Silene and flip 2 heads
2 heads
to
to get both
recover the
back. Yeah.
cards that I need.
Yeah.
If I instead flip for the confusion, it's just 1 heads.
1
So
heads.
statistically speaking, that was better for me.
Yep.
What I was trying to achieve with that coin flip, and I explained that to Isaiah as well. If I get that head, my opponent is still locked. Of course, the only things that he can do is knock out my Mawile or pass. Either way, they are fine with me because I win the next game, the next turn. If he take the knockout on Mawile, I had in my hand Stretcher, Mist, and I can finally take the Vest in
The
order
Vest.
to have the combo with Mawile,
Right.
and then play Penny. I play Penny on Phoebus. I took the charm. I put the charm on Pidgeot because at that point,
Can't be Devo KO'd.
even if he moved the damage to PG, he can't be devolved for the knockout.
Yeah.
That was
That makes sense.
that was the point that I was trying to get.
You were trying to get to. Yeah.
But at that point, after the double test on Selene, I was always 1 card behind, and the yawn of my opponent never really helped me. And my ignorance about his deck list made the final loss.
Yeah.
And a lot of people told me, why you scoop to your opponent? You let him win. Guys,
Yeah,
I
and-
didn't let him win. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm Isaiah is my friend. I'm really happy for me, but I
Mhm.
would never let anyone win in my life. I play
Yeah.
with my sister, with my wife's sister. I always beat her so hard in every Mario game that I face. Like ever, I never let anyone win in my life.
Yeah.
But if you're playing a control deck and you know that your opponent has a specific game style, you have a specific game style, in 30 minutes, I will not waste my time trying
You're
to
never gonna win
donk
2
you
games. Yeah.
twice.
You're never
That's
gonna win 2
not
games.
how my deck works.
Yes.
I don't donk people. I know my opponent can completely brick, but you just accept the loss. It's lost. It's okay.
Yeah,
I try my
yeah.
best. This time I didn't make a mistake, so it's fine. I'm trying to
good.
do my best next
So,
time.
yeah. So a quick question for that, right? So at the end of game 1, right, I think you realized that you're the most powerful person in the room because you controlled the outcome there. So, right. So what, if I can ask, what did you say to Isaiah over the table before he had his pop off when he realized that he had his first win?
Before
After
before I
game
didn't
1.
say.
After game 1, what was said to
After game
Isaiah?
1, after game 1, I told him that I was waiting a card, and he said to me that he would have won anyway with the devolution on PG. And I explained to him that in the same turn that I promote my while, I penny my Phoebus for the charm to PG, so he couldn't win. And he didn't think about all of that combination, so I say okay.
And
then,
what was the word?
yeah,
Because at some point, he realized he won the match. What was that like, or what was said there?
No, after the game, we were shuffling. It was already focused on the next game. I asked to the judge how much time left. They say 30. And I say, no, that's fine for me.
Yeah,
All right.
that's awesome. Yeah, we didn't get to really see that interaction because it was kind of off camera. So, that,
Yeah,
that's
no,
nice.
it was just me asking the judge how much time
Yeah.
left. They say 30. I say, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with
Yeah.
that. Then I say Isaiah that I'm really happy for him. He deserved it.
Yeah.
I met Isaiah when he was a senior, and he
Oh, wow.
was already so promising at that time. He was too lazy now to play local, but I'm really happy that he was really looking for a win. I'm happy for that. When you play a deck like mine, you don't think you can win an event because I think there beside me in the last 8 year only Piper won a tournament with the control deck because we have a huge disadvantage in the top cut
Exactly.
because
Top cut
we never
rolls,
have
yeah.
the chance we don't have the chance to like make a comeback. So
Right.
if you lose the first one, most of the time you lose the game.
Yep.
And that it's a disadvantage. That's why usually a deck like this don't win an event because there are so many variable. It's just too difficult. So
Yeah.
why I'm still playing this deck? I told you I like
You
that.
just love it. Yeah, you just love the challenge, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. At this point, I play for the money. I don't play for the win. I can take money even without win the event. So
Yep.
I'm fine with my top 64, top 32, whatever it takes to
Yeah.
have enough money to keep playing the next tournament, and
Right.
it's enough for me. I'm really glad with that. I mean, I'm not playing a meme deck. My deck are really good. It still have the chance to win. It just usually they don't. That's just like that.
All right. So as we get ready to wrap up here, we got to get you. You're the control master. Everyone's looking at you.
Thank you.
They're looking at you. They're looking
I
at
try my best.
they're looking at all out Blitzel. All the control players. What's the play for control in the format coming up with Journey Together? Are we playing some Bayonet handlock deck with attacking? We playing Pidgeot
Walls.
control? We playing walls? What's the best control? Like, what are you thinking for control going forward?
Unfortunately, I have no idea, but it's not that I'm not prepared. It's like every control deck, and I explain all of this in the masterclass that I made. I always try to answer to everyone, even if you wrote me on Twitter, if you wrote me everywhere. I'm trying to be as more helpful as possible, but there are only some limited information that I can give you when a new set came, because until I have some tournament to counter, there's
Right.
nothing I can do. And playing with the Japanese formation, it's never right. I have to explain this to a lot of players in the Italian community. In Japan, they play differently. They have a best
of
of
one.
one tournament,
Yep.
25 minutes. So if you play a tournament like that, you can approach the tournament knowing that you will not face any control deck, because usually control deck are not deck that you can win in 25 minutes. Also, if you tie, you have a double loss because there is no tie. So
Right. Right.
if you approach a tournament knowing that there will be no control deck, the whole structural system will be different. Then you think like that, you come to Europe, you find me, and you find that control deck has something in Europe. So you will be really unprepared. But in order to play like that, you have to wait.
You have to
I
wait.
think
Yep.
in the first tournament will be Atlanta, maybe,
Atlanta. Yeah.
or Sevilla. I don't know which one of them will be the
I
first.
think
but,
Atlanta's first. Yeah.
Okay, so before Atlanta, there's nothing I can do in order to help anyone, because without any information, I'm playing with nothing.
Are there any?
To be fair, I lost so many cards after the rotation, so
Right. Right.
I haven't seen the new set are completely useless in that way because there are no controller cards.
Okay.
You talk about the Banet, but the Banet is useless until the new path to the peak will be realized. Because if
Mew
you're
EX,
playing
right?
against Mew, You just haha 0 drew 3. Yeah, okay. Okay, you
Yeah.
win. So
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
honestly expect before the end of the year at least 3 cards to be restamped. Path to the Peak, Versus Seeker, and Double Colorless. Personally, I'm expecting at least these 3 cards because there is some sort of pattern in the previous year that I'm expecting this. Path to the Peak was a decent card. I'm not talking about fair or unfair, but it's decent because they cite a rule box. It was one of the first cards not citing a V, EX or specific. They just talk about rule box, and that is something that you can release anytime. And until a card like that will came out again,
We
I
can't
need
quick
something.
search under path though.
Yeah, but it's fine. It's fine. There is a beautiful Gothitelle in format. He control the opponent's top deck, so you can work with that. Xerosic is in the format, but there are no cards that you can use to do energy disruption like the old one. There are no cards that you can do a specific end disruption, like Luxray, check your end and discard a specific card. Xerosic give your opponent the choice, and that's something
Right.
that usually you don't want to do.
Yeah.
So I need something. I need
You
something
need
to work.
something.
Give me
Yeah.
something.
Need
Give
a
me
Luxray V back,
something.
something like
It's
that.
coming.
Yeah.
It's coming back. It's coming back. We'll
Give
get
me
it
something.
soon.
Give me something.
Alessandro will be
Otherwise,
very bored until
yeah,
something new
yeah.
comes out. He's gonna have to play
Listen.
Raging Bolt. No.
We've got
right
team.
now, I'm watching the meta. Of course, what I might expect to be the meta on Dragapult, Goldengo, Raging Bolt, stuff like that. I think a wall deck might be really good. Like I'm thinking about the last Mimikyu Odgerpon that I used to play this year. I think that's something that we can work on. But to be fair, I really like Hope. Between all of the new trainer card, I think that's the only one with
like
a
Hop?
decent card.
Yeah.
Because we have Zorak, it has an amazing ability, but he has no decent attacker to copy. You have Yono, you have Belly Bolt that
Belly Bolt,
charge,
yeah.
but you have really few Pokemon that can use it. And that's
Lily.
just that. Hope,
Lily.
Lily basically just have Clefairy. That's nothing else
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
You
besides
get
Clefairy.
what is it? You get like the
got the
Rebombi, which is
comfy.
kind of control-y.
We got the comfy card, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like
okay.
Station. Right now, I
Yeah.
like Station.
All
Yeah.
right.
It remembers me the old big basic deck with Landorus, Tornadus, and stuff like that. So I like that. But my next tournament will be Worlds. So
Wow.
right now I don't really care. Can I mean there was last week I was on stream. I was testing for Stockholm, and Tord came into my stream and say, "Hey Ale," we started to chat. At some point he say, "Hey, did you ever considering stop playing your garbage deck? Because I'm really tired to keep tech against your deck in the tournament. In Japan, I don't have to. So can you please stop?" I say, "Don't worry, Tordi. I will not play any tournament before Worlds, so you're fine. You can do whatever you want. You can play in. We will have Sevilla, Utrecht. Yeah, of course I'm gonna play Bologna because it's in Italy.
sure.
But I probably will not come to an IC as well this year. So from
That-
here towards there are even the Team Rocket expansion will be released. So
Hey, best
I'm
of luck
gonna
with your
just
TCG
try.
shop, though. I'm excited to
Yeah,
see
exactly.
some pictures from that.
Yeah, I'm focusing on that.
Yeah.
Like full
Love it,
in,
yeah.
completely all in on that.
Yeah. Well, you got a little bit of time to, gear up for Worlds. Again, you punched your ticket with a second place, so props on the fantastic finish. Anyone else who wants to check out more of Alessandro Cremascoli, iCaterpie on YouTube, on Twitter. That's the best place. He's always tweeting and, streaming, so definitely check him out. I know he's going to, whatever control cards come out before Worlds, you better look out because I'm sure Alessandro will be showing up with it. So, Alessandro, thanks so much for coming on and joining us.
Yeah, my pleasure. Even to every time that a new control cards release, that bad guy of Sander just promoted to everyone on Twitter. Like I'm testing this cards. It's amazing. And Sander, oh, there is this card. Try it. Sander, stop it. Stop it. So I really try to take my deck really secret, but with the Twitter, it's really complicated. So
Yeah,
yeah.
social media these days, there's a lot. But yeah,
But yeah,
Alessandro,
thanks,
thank you so much.
thanks for having me. It was a pleasure. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Maddox.
Yeah.
And yeah, you will not probably see me really active in the next time come on social. But hey, if you ever come to Italy, you're more than welcome to come to
Thank
my shop.
you. Yeah.
And check out the card store when we're in Italy too.
Yeah.
So
Of
Yeah,
course.
You just let us know when the first big tournament is, and we'll just book a flight over to the TCG. It's fine. Alessandro, thank you so much for coming on. We'll get back to the Beach Court podcast here in just a moment. All right, welcome back to the Beach Court podcast. That was Alessandro Cremascoli. I hope you enjoyed hearing all about Pidgeot control and how it's going to survive and thrive in Atlanta and onwards. So let's get on to our trivia segment. I've got a really easy layup question for the boys. So Manix has prepared some other It is basketball season. How's your bracket doing, by the way? You guys filling out?
Apparently, there's only one good bracket left. Is that true?
It is.
that was less than that.
There's 0 now.
Oh, there's 0 now.
There's 0 perfect brackets. I'm doing really well. I got 3 wrong on the first day, like on the first 2 days, excuse me. And I took out like my Sweet 16 teams, so it was like inherently got the next one wrong because of it. Yeah. But outside of those 3 games alone, I've gotten every other pick correct. So I've gotten like, I don't know, man, is it 41? Is that what the number is currently? I think, real quick. I know you guys are here for sports, so thanks for bearing with me. Yeah, I've gotten
we're getting the trivia in Crispin's corner after the sports segment. Hang with us.
I've gotten 41 picks correct.
Sure.
Out
There
of,
you go.
what was it, 32 plus 16, 48? Yeah, I've only gotten 7 wrong total. And that again, the 3 games in the beginning affected the next 4. So, anyways, moving on. Let's give you the easy layup as we're talking about basketball. Hope you guys are enjoying your bracket and March Madness. However, I am looking for a number today. It is just a number. I'm giving you no plus or minus because the question should be that easy. What is Mr. Mime's Pokemon number in the Pokedex?
Is
What is
there
Mr.
context to this?
Nope. Just a random question I found that I wanted to ask.
Yeah. I don't know why. I feel like it's 59.
Nah, it's over 100 for sure.
Is it? Okay. All right. Good thing we didn't go with my pick.
This is the layup question. You think we know random numbers?
I mean, you are really good at knowing lore of Pokemon.
Well, what's the lore of memorizing a random number? Like I memorize, I know Pikachu's 25, Pikachu's 26.
And what's
And
Mr. What's
and
Mewtwo?
like Blastoise is 9, Mewtwo's 151, or sorry,
See?
150. Mew is 151.
All right. You know, like some numbers, Mr.
I think I want to say it's like 121 or something. It's either in the 120s or the 130s. I think
he's like a cool barrier Pokemon. You know,
I feel like it's like 112 or something. 114.
We got some 112, some 114, some 120s, some 130s. Dang, I thought you guys would crush this like immediately. What? I think you know the game that well and know the cards like that well.
Hey Eric, real quick, what's Dodrio's Pokedex number?
Dodrio's 51.
All right, find out next time if Eric was right. And by the way, he wasn't. No one knows these numbers arbitrarily. I mean, if I were to know a number arbitrarily, I think it's 121, but I think that's also too low. I want to say it's like 135 or something. That might be too high. Parker, do you really think it's below 100?
59 was like the number that came into my head, but all right, it basically goes like early game Pokemon, like starters, boom,
Mr. Mime's like a weird
evolutions, and then like the
weird ones you trade for are like towards the end normally.
Yeah. Maybe like 124 or something, or like 126 or.
They have to guess the number exactly. This is such a diabolical.
I mean, I'll give you plus or minus 1.
Okay, cool. There's only 151 options. And we've narrowed them down, of course, but I mean, my mind says 121. Parker says 124. Is that what you said? Or you said
Yeah,
59
something like
also.
that. Yeah.
Well, we'll just guess 59 because that was Parker's original guess. I'll guess 121 and 114 and 135, but I mostly think it's 121.
Guys, you don't get that many guesses. As a team, you have to come to one guess.
I'm just stating those so that way when the
121.
audience says, "Oh my gosh, that was Maddox's fourth number. He's so smart and knows Pokemon numbers." Kind of. No one's gonna say that, but all right,
All
Parker.
right, let's send it. Yeah, let's send it. 121.
We'll send in. We'll shoot in the middle if you want. Go in the middle with yours, closer to 124, 122 or 123.
122. Okay,
We'll
122.
go 122. Sure. I think we're too low. We'll
right.
see.
So 122 is the number?
Sure.
Okay. Number 59 is Arcanine.
Okay.
Number
Didn't know that.
I didn't either. Number 121 is Starmie.
Oh, we're still too low. We gotta go like
Yeah, we're still
135.
really
Number
too low.
124 is Jinx.
Oh,
Number 122 is Mr.
Sorry.
Mime.
Hey, no way.
I knew it
Oh,
the whole
wait.
You
time.
knew it the whole time.
Oh
Congratulations.
wait, yeah,
See,
Maddox
you
just
guys
knew it the
got
whole
there.
time. My bad.
Congratulations.
That was all for naught. Was
No,
it
I mean,
actually? Was
if
it
you said
actually?
124, that's what got you there to the right number.
True. We actually got up. Man, we do know Pokemon.
See?
I was lying.
Yeah.
This question was
See,
easy.
Maddox
Freest
knew the
question
whole
of my
time.
life. Anyone wondering, Dodrio is Pokédex number 85
Can nobody
per
see
the
that, but yeah.
promo.
I just went with a confident number. Anyways, are we doing a card?
Yeah, sure. Here's a fun. What does this card in standard do? Alolan Dug Trio.
Oh God, I've gotten zero clue.
It's got a free attack.
Oh,
I don't even know how much HP.
It's
I'm
like-
gonna go like 120 HP probably.
Oh
I got
yeah.
no- I got
yeah.
no-
Anyone else at home? This is Alolan Dug Trio from Surging Sparks. Number 123.
Let me check my bulk on my.
I'm gonna say it has 100 HP. It has a attack that's like flip 3 coins, and
I don't know how.
I don't remember the second attack.
All right, y'all. Again, we're playing. What do you mean you don't know what every
I
card in
got the
standard does?
Alolan Diglett. It has surprise attack for 30.
Well, the question's about Alolan Dug Trio, Eric.
Wait, give me. I'm
That's
cheating.
not how the game works, Eric. You have to guess one, come to a consensus for Alolan Dug Trio.
Whatever Parker says is what I'm saying because I have no clue.
So Parker is right. That is a free attack that involves the number 3. But
Close. I was
any
close,
other
huh?
guesses besides flipping 3 coins?
If your opponent has 3 cards in their hand, I don't know.
Very close. So Alolan Dug Trio from Surging Sparks, 110 HP. And then it
So
has
I 10.
Trio Chiho, which is a free attack for 120 damage. But if you don't have exactly 3 cards in your hand, it does nothing.
Trio Chihu.
Trio Chihu.
What?
I'm just reading the cards, y'all.
Sure.
Yo, whoever's naming these attacks needs a raise.
Well,
So if your opponent-
very much, they've got like
So if your opponent benches that Alolan, Diglett,
You know what to expect.
you better not judge your opponent because then they're gonna play 2 cards and then they're gonna Chihu you.
Speaking of like playing cards and using the attack, what's the attacker in pre-release that was like that? That was like so easy to pull off, where it's like if you and your opponent have the same number of cards and you can't attack or
By
whatever.
Journey Together per-release?
Yeah, there was a
Oh,
card.
that
in
was
Journey Together.
there was the wasn't Clink Clink? No, it wasn't Clink Clink. It was
No, not Clink.
oh, it was Noivern.
Noivern. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
a
that
three-color-
always
it was a-
has that
It was a
ability.
3 colorless attack, but if you had the same number of cards, the ability was if you had
It
the
was
same number of
free.
cards in your hand, it's free.
Yeah, I pulled that off like a lot. Pretty early.
Again, shout out to Eric for knowing what that card does in standard. Now you can just never forget it.
dude, I'm terrible at like knowing cards, man. If they're not like in the cards I practice with, I'm coming up to this is why I practice because like I'm like I don't know what they are, bro.
The funniest experience of like Maddox practicing too much was like at Worlds. Again, we're practicing with Festivity. The proxy that we had from Justin Basil, the ability was called Take Advantage.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'll take advantage for 3. So then here I am in like October being like, okay, I'll take advantage. And they're like, yo, what? I'm like, oh, I'll flip the script. Like,
All right. Let's find out who was cooking in Crispin's corner.
yeah, again, we're jumping over to our Crispin's Corner segment, so we'll be sharing our screen. And again, from here, looking at, what lists from this past weekend in Stockholm Regionals had something cool that they were cooking up. So again, shout out to RK9 for always making this possible for us to do, because we have a lot of fun with this segment and hope you enjoy it too. So our first player that we're going to be looking up is GY. Again, let's do the newer players like last
Graveyard.
time. To go GY for this first one, we have Chong Yao Wei from Czech. CN, I'm not sure that
I think
country.
is that
abbreviation.
China.
It's gotta be China, right?
Is this? I guess it makes sense. I guess I wasn't expecting a player from China to make it all this way out here. And then on our other player,
China
we have
number one.
QT.
Wow, QT.
You're so QT.
We got no one, so we go to QU. We have Arthur
All right, from France.
from France. Thank you for not making me say the last name. And we have a Palkia Noctowl. We'll get this on the side of the
You're
screen.
good. You're good. Yep.
I'll just do it this way. Boom.
Look at the Badoo.
Versus a slow Dragapult. So on from our player from China, we have a good old-fashioned Palkia Noctowl. Pretty standard piece here. I do have the Kansen Cologne for some fancy Greninja combos,
Sure
including the
does.
Badoo. And then from our Dragapult player from France, Arthur, we have kind of our, kind of standard, not standard, right? It's a new type of Tord Gabriel Fernandez type build. Wizard. We do see the Defiance of Vest as the inclusion, the Lost City, and the Temple of Sinnoh. So very much a Gabriel Fernandez-esque build with the Klefki, two Badoo, and the
Shout
Monkey
out to the
Dory.
Crown Zenith Luminion. Rest in peace, my dude.
Yeah, we got Arthur over here with a couple different, unfortunately ended up in a situation where they had both the Twilight Masquerade Dreepies and the Prismatic
Phantom?
Evolution Dreepies. So had to do a little bit of a split. But
Wait, I want to see all these names.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Dragon Ball DX,
Lansorian.
Sorry for anyone
That's
who's
kinda
French that
cool.
we're offending.
Well, it's like Lance. I don't know.
That's true.
What's
Well,
Luminion?
Peter is Lance. Peter. Right. We have Peter and Pepper. Again, so sorry for anyone who's French who's listening. Actually, probably folks that are still hanging out from the Alessandro Cremascoli interview. And if you skipped that for some reason, you went too far. Go back to that. But yeah, anyone who's here we're butchering all these languages.
What?
Sincerely apologize.
Why is Lance named Peter?
That's probably his name in France.
Oh my god. I was not ready for that.
We have
How many peppers
Ashen?
did Peter pick?
oh my goodness. 4
What is-
peppers, 3
What's
Peters.
Pheasantipiti's name?
Pheasantipity Faviano CX. So that's a
Yo,
good
that
name.
sounds fancy. That
a
sounds
pretty-
like a dish I'd order at Olive Garden or something.
The what? Oh my goodness. Rasputin.
Rasputin. Yo, Rasputin.
We're gonna stop.
All in. All right. Anyways, all right. Names are funny. Languages are funny. We're just silly Americans down in Florida. We go and speak that American. Again, sorry if anyone's
Yeah.
American who just listened to that. Yeah, here's Palkia versus Dragapult. What do you think about this matchup? Eric, you're the resident Palkia enjoyer.
I'm a resident Palkia enjoyer. There's not enough E-switch in this list. That's the one thing that stands out to me. You need at least 2, so you can pull off the back-to-back Greninja attacks pretty easily, or you could put an Hourglass in, like some of the lists have been trying to do lately. But without the Arvin build, probably can't do that. So I'm a little concerned that he's not gonna be able to get to the Greninja fast enough, especially if Dragapult goes first and pushes Klefki. Because he's playing the Fan Rotom build. So it's going to turn off Ditto, it's going to turn off Greninja, it's going to turn off Fan Rotom. Turns off a good portion of this deck if you get to the Klefki going first as Dragapult. I think the slow Dragapults are choosing to go first, if I'm correct, if I remember correctly. So if Dragapult wins the coin flip here, it could be a little bit challenging. The good news is, on the Palkia side, we do have, the optimal Noctowl. We only have one of them. But when we play that, we're going to be searching for 2 really good cards. and gonna, be prime catcher coloning, which we don't even need to do in this matchup. But I mean, Greninja's gonna be really good, right? Because there is no Manaphy. It's just a question of, can Dragapult slow you down enough with Badoo / Klefki for you not to get, consistent attacks off? I'm not sure.
Yeah, for one, I'm not a huge Palkia. I'm a little concerned about the support lineup. I mean, this full one across the board, is this standard? One Research, one Iono, one Irida, and then
It's
the rest are
standard in
like tech
Noctowl
supporters.
builds and the Noctowl builds, yeah. Because ideally you're going first and you're getting Fan Rhythm down and you're getting a Noctowl ready. So it is pretty standard in those lists. Again, the issue is when you go first, if you don't have a Terra in hand, you're not going to be able to nest ball for it the following turn because they're going to Badoo you. So it takes a really good skilled player on the right side to beat this build on the left. But I do think that Palkia is a little bit favored here, especially if they win the coin flip.
Parker, what's your take?
My take is it's just like if the player on the left gets 2 Dragapults out, it's like almost game over. But I mean, like the potential to like win early is definitely more so on the side of the Palkia player. So yeah, it's tough to say. I think out of 11 games, Dragapult probably takes more than Palkia, but I don't know.
I mean, I think the Drago player also has to be careful of the Kieran in deck because a bench of 4 would enable Palkia to take a KO with Kieran. So they have to be careful with that, which can be tricky, because you might not play around that, game 1.
Yeah, I think the power of Dragapult and just the inherently strong list, I think also an unfair Sam is just absolutely devastating for Palkia Noctowl to do with. This Palkia Noctowl build, this Dragapult build is been piloted by some of the best players, and I think is in that position for a reason.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'll give him the nod to Dragapult.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna give the nod to Palkia just because I'm a Palkia lover, but that's just me.
Me too, but I think Dragapult just probably takes a couple Palkia, a best of 11, best of 9.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, we'll move on to our next picks. We have a VE. I got a lot of duplicates for true randomness. VE versus a UF. At a UF. Actually, this is a day 2 list. Vittorio from Italy. Shout out to any Italians sticking out after Alessandro's interview.
Right.
And then versus, I forgot what letters. Oh, it was the VE, I think.
UF.
Oh, UF.
VE.
Oh, VE. You're
Oh,
right.
VE,
Yeah.
We have Olivia. It was 239 and were all these in day
No.
2?
No.
Not day 2 list. We have a
Higher
we have
44
Oliver from the UK. So we have a classic matchup. Oh, we got some spice here. We have a Goldango Palkia versus Gouging Fire.
We got the picnic basket.
We have the picnic basket tech in Goldango. Palkia says, hey, we don't need
I
Monkey Dory
like
where
that.
we're going.
I like that
Play
actually.
the picnic basket. Honestly, you don't need the extra energy for Monkey Dory. Just say, oh, you spread some damage. That's cute. Heal everything. And heal you for 30.
Lanazade.
Lana Zeta, good Badoo out. It's very, I think, watch some of the finals from, or watch some of those other tournaments of people of Badoo's getting item locked from Andrew Hedrick. Said, hey, I'm going to, there's sort of Lana's egg, give myself a little extra protection.
The bundle too.
The bundle, always a good inclusion. Love
And
to see
Lana's
Grand
aid
Bundle in
back
here.
the bundle. Oh
And the Palkia V-Star, again, giving us the Greninja option. I think maybe that's a little extra piece that is, nice, especially that the Monkey Dory gives you a little bit of an extra edge into some of these evolving decks. Like Dragapult, like we're seeing so much of now.
Like Dragapult, yep. I mean, got some Entei Gouging Fire over here.
And then the Gouging Fire toolbox with the shoes.
Got the shoes. We're going walking.
Got the 3 energy switch, the 1 switch cart. I have to double check how similar this is to Mauricio's list. It seems pretty good.
It looks pretty close.
Pretty close. We have the Roxanne inclusion plus the 2 Bravery Charm. Yeah, again, obviously we have a relevant weakness type, right? We can attack with Palkia, we can attack with Greninja here, but also we have relevant weakness back the other way, where your fire types can deal big damage to Goldango, right? You can very easily set up situations with Delphox where you can go, I guess you can't do that. I guess you can put some damage into play with Magma Basin, move that to the active Goldango, hit him with a what's it called? Miracle Fire, Magical Fire,
Magical
active,
Fire.
take out the knockout as well. Maybe knock out a Gimme Goal on the bench. What do we think, y'all?
Boom, 2 or 4. Yeah, you could do magical
Yep.
fire. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the weakness is very relevant. I think this is a true coin flip matchup. It does feel like whoever goes first in this matchup is going to be favored. I mean, the weaknesses are, like you said, relevant on each side. Each deck is very consistent at doing what they want to do.
Yeah,
If
I
you-
ultimately go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you go second as the gouging fire player, and they just have like 2 gimme ghouls, do you think you just like try to flutter main them turn 1 to just like offset that? And
Well, the risk is magical fire though.
Yeah, and the the risk of magical fire. Like the pocket player is playing, a counter catcher, playing 2 boss. You can get to magical fire going second, but it's very
right,
difficult.
yeah. You just have to hit an E switch rather than just Sonic.
You gotta hit 2 E switch.
Mhm.
Yeah. IS1.
Well,
the
you
Mega
could,
Basin.
you
can
go
base
Magma
in.
Basin, E switch, Jet, go active.
Yeah, I guess you can get there pretty reliably. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I think the big part that we miss out on here for the from the gouging fire players, we don't have a great single prize attacker that we can use. We're really forced to have to go and take 2 of that Del Fox and how to lead the trade from there.
Yeah.
I think if gouging fire falls behind the prize trader, has to take a single prize knockout, you're pretty doomed to
Right.
remain there unless you're able to again pull off like a 3 prize turn with magical fire type of thing. Which again is possible.
Which is
but it's a little
relevant. It's
trickier.
possible.
possible,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
definitely possible.
Yeah, and what's interesting, right? Normally, Gold Angle would excel into a turbo matchup because you say, "Hey, I can keep my board as gimme ghouls." And once you evolve into Gold Angles, you can even then bench your Palkia to then set up for Palkia V-Star the next turn with the Greninja. Yeah, I think for that reason, I probably have to give still a slight nod to Gold Angle
Yeah,
because
same.
we have a situation where we can mix in. Actually, even the Greninja isn't taking a meaningful knockout because you can't hit enough damage to take a 2 prize knockout.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's just like.
It's like, can Gouging Fire take 2? That's really the first.
Oh, I
that's
guess
the
you said like
question.
they can take 1 and then take 3, right? So like that's a very
I
real
think-
route.
Well, Gold Angle can play around that, though, is my point.
True.
To an extent, but yeah, I guess you just go 1
Just
Dingo
evolve all the
plus
guy.
Palkia, but then like you could Monkey Dory and fire the Radiant Greninja and the Gold Dingo. So,
That is true. Yeah, you could spread the same thing on Greninja.
it's like, I don't know.
You know what? I'm going for the less consistent. I'm going for the toolbox. Going for second place Merida. Give me Mauricio. Give me. I'm sure this person had specific coaching with Mauricio and was blessed with the Gouging Fire. So give me Gouging Fire here. Sorry, Gold Angle enjoyers.
I kind of want to like see this matchup actually.
We could play it.
You should run it.
I got Goldingo built. I just want to cup with it.
I don't own any. I don't own any Gouging Fire.
I have the Gouging Fire stuff. I think I just don't have the
Where's the Entei?
Del Fox.
I have 2 Entei's probably.
No, I got the
Somewhere.
Entes.
Well, what are you
I'm
missing
gonna
then?
I'm giving the nod to Goldingo with the spicy picnic basket tech. You're gonna say, hey, I'm gonna hit your Greninja and clean it up later. I'm gonna go picnic basket, heal it, and it's very relevant. And yeah, we're good from there.
That card is getting superior every time I see it in this match.
Nah, fam. Nah. All right.
I do like the picnic basket, but I think Fire's got just a slight advantage.
Yeah, again, I think with a skilled pilot operating, you fully utilizing the toolbox nature of the deck, Gouging Fire can pull off the win. Goldango's gonna have a much more straightforward time doing it, being say, hey, I have a single prize board, you miss an attack, and I go take the first 2, and then you can just never lose from there.
Let's do another one.
All right.
And
And
what was their last name?
We'll go back and check it later. So
Okay.
we have EH versus JE. I gotta scroll some more over here.
JE?
EH Christian Bear versus JE. We have that's the day 2 list. We got Odin from Norway versus Christian from Denmark.
Oh.
And we got a
Uh-oh.
We found the list, y'all. We found the Okie Dokie Guard Chomp naturally in. This isn't day 2 list, right?
Yo,
this
we
is
got the more Pekka.
Oh, dang, this is This is the day 2 list.
No, we're 503. We're 503rd.
Oh, that's the wait. Oh, there's also playing. Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
We found Okie Dokie Garchomp, y'all, organically in Crispin's corner. Yeah, another underappreciated cook of this list versus the Roaring Moon.
We got Moon with more Pecco.
Moon with more Pecco and with
switch,
energy
Crispin.
switch.
Yo, this guy's cooking.
This is why we do Crispin's corner for
Woo! Where's
these
the power
types of
glass,
matchups.
though, bro? We need the power glass.
No. We got Crispin instead.
We got
Sure.
Crispin in the deck.
Yo, Crispin,
You go
Patch,
dark
E-switch.
patch, E-switch, Crispin.
Yo, turn 1 ninja every time.
All right, we need to get
bro.
2 waters into play though. Wait.
We got vessels. It's fine.
No, we need to get 2 waters into play.
Yeah, so
though.
you Crispin 1 in, you attach for turn.
Oh,
and
you
dark
attach
patch,
it. Yeah,
E-switch.
attach it from turn, not from the Crispin. Yeah.
Yeah. But what we're missing here is the 4 Steelstone. And we're definitely missing 4 Steelstone.
You can never find it. You
2
Pokestop it away.
We could have cut Patch for 4 Steelstone for sure.
No. You gotta beat Lax in your sleep. Trust.
Yeah, 1 is fine.
Oh, you just played 2.
Double Petron. Yeah. And I think this is this is pretty close to 60. I don't know if they played Collapse Stadium or not.
They did.
but
They
They
did.
This
yeah.
is the
But they were
Garchomp
playing.
Okie
It's
Dokie
not the
list.
same because they were playing. I think they were playing 3 different stadiums. I'll fact check. 2 seconds.
There's some feuds apparently among this group, and
This
No,
would be
2 artists all
me.
in one collapse. Yeah, 2
as
artists
the
all in one
list, as the
collapse.
list. So love to see
That's the
another
list.
enjoyer of the list. Didn't quite make it to day 2, but you get your feature right here on Crispin's corner. Yeah, against Roaring Moon, with Greninja package. All right, y'all. What do you how do you even approach?
Parker,
this
you go
matchup?
first. You got the Ogie Dogies. Go first.
This might be a matchup where you simply just keep everything 1 prize and then go Okie Dokie, attach Fighting, attach Luminous. Not even put your Garchomp into play and just attack and 2-shot each other, and eventually you'll win because you can just Blood Moon their guy for the last 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, even if you put 1 Garchomp in play just to load up, because what is Garchomp 2 guys or 1? Yeah, any way you like. So you can have 3 fighting any way you like. So you can, like, load up 3 Ogie Dogies with your first one, and then you're like, cool, Legacy to 1, Luminous to the other, boss up your Fez, take 2, boss up your Luminion, take 2.
Well, you can't think. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 170, right?
Yeah. I thought you were talking about attacking the Garchomp. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think this is pretty interesting. It seems like Okie Dokie's favored, but the player on
Yeah,
the
I think
right
it
was-
is.
honestly, that's not true. We gotta respect the fact that the player on the right can go Greninja KO both Gibbles.
Yeah, I think for me the main piece here is just like, do you survive to get a Garchomp in play, right? I think Okie Dokie is really craving, like, you need the hydro laser, hydro lander to get powered up and attack. So I think that's the piece. I think you do need a Garchomp, or like, I think the biggest part is when you have an end game, you have a 230 HP 1 prizer, and you're only hitting 220 with Roaring Moon, right? That's the big problem at the end of the day that I think. Like, gouging, I mean, I guess you could gouge the Legacy and take a prize, which is good. But again, like, but also, like, and if you ever leave the damage of play when they play the Monkey Dory, so you could use that. I think Moon just has too hard of a time attacking. And also, even the double Petron here, like, when you open one of those, that's going to become a liability for you later when Okie Dokie
Yeah.
can boss and KO that. Saying your Pheasantipity or Luminion's not safe on the bench. Your Squawkabilly is actually safe on the bench. So
Yeah, it is,
maybe
yeah.
motivate early is actually viable
True.
somehow.
Yeah, I mean, you're 9 of 11 to start a 2 prizer.
Yeah, I mean, but again, like, Roaring Moon's safe from Okie Dokie, kind of. You have to, like, 2-shot it. I think there's a little bit extra dimensionality. I mean, really, it's just the 230 for Okie Dokie is like too big of a number for Roaring Moon to deal with. I think as long as you can get Garchomp into play, stabilize, power up some Okie Dokies, I think from there you just have time, because Roaring Moon is like too hard pressed to take those knockouts.
Oh no, we got 6 stadiums total.
Wait, 6 stadiums or what?
3 on the right, 3 on the left.
You're making some joke that I'm not
So we can just
understanding.
like hit 220. Like I think if we're just hitting 220 and taking a knockout every turn.
You're not taking a knockout.
You
though.
can't knock out the
And because-
okie
because,
dokie.
like, it's 230. You're saying
it's 230.
Plus 100 HP. That's what I mean. It's 230. So like you can't even one shot an Okie Dokie. Like that's the problem.
Oh, brother.
Like once you get it, like once you get a dark or luminous on it, then you're set.
All right, so we're rating
Um,
Greninja 2 Okie Dokies, and then we go.
That's so bad. like
Yeah,
that is
so
beyond
bad.
terrible. I mean, like you can gouge a Garchomp, which is good, but then they just shove Okie Dokies at you.
Yeah. Maybe Okie Doki's favored here. Yeah.
And I think it is actually.
And the problem is if you ever gouge and then you later hit an Okie Dokie, then it can just then it can Monkey Dory the damage off of it to KO the moon that you've gouged. Yeah, I mean definitely rough and right. And also even if you somehow manage to get it to like a 2-2, then they can just throw in a Blood Moon still and knock you out. So
Yeah.
I mean, hey, listen, this deck had a few day 2 finishes for a reason.
Who cooked more though, out of these two? Because I think like out of our 6 that we've done, as we're finishing up Crispin's corner here, these are our 2 winners.
100%, right? I
So
think
who
we
cooked more?
I think just because we've seen the Roaring Moon Greninja as a little bit of a known archetype prior to this tournament. Again, still some good innovations. Love the shoes, love the 4 switches, the all in and the Crispin, great addition. I gotta give it to the creators of Garchomp Okie Dokie.
That's fair.
I'm giving
That's
it
fair.
to Odin. Odin's our
Okay.
head chef.
All right. I'm down. Okay, so congratulations, Odom. You're our head chef this week.
Head chef of Crispin's Corner. Looking forward to seeing what y'all cook up next time.
Yeah, so that was Crispin's corner for Stockholm. I think this weekend, do we have Australia this week?
Yes, it is this weekend.
Okay, so we got
Regionals.
Brisbane Regionals down under. Hopefully we see a new Radiant Pokemon Pokeduels in day 2. So if you're looking for some memes this weekend, we got you. Anyways, let's finish up our episode. Got a couple of announcements before we finish up. We'll run through the announcements and do some discussion on them. First one is none other than Prismatic Evolutions giveaway. We have announced the winner on our podcast page, so make sure you go watch that episode. It's down below in the link in the comments here, but there is another episode that I posted again on Tuesday. A video. It's just a quick video for you guys to go watch. Make
So
sure
anyone
you,
on Spotify and you entered the giveaway,
Yeah.
pop over to YouTube. Make sure you check
Yeah.
in and see if you want the giveaway.
Exactly. Yep. So check over, watch that video. You want to find out who won this Prismatic Evolutions pack. Again, pick up in Atlanta and or locally, depending on who won it. And yeah, so I'm excited to give this away. I mean, even especially after today and the nonsense that was the Pokemon Center and people trying to get packs. I'm excited to give back to the community and see what's going on. There. Next topic, next announcement we've been talking about this the last couple of episodes, but this weekend we've got the NakamaCon card show at Nakama here in Orange Park, Florida. Max and Parker, you guys want to give a breakdown of what's going on this weekend?
Yeah, so there's gonna be a bunch of vendors. We are gonna be there. That's kind of like the Elite Four thing, like similar to NakamaCon. It will be, hanging out, testing, trading, selling all day.
And if you've been looking for time to check out Nakama, and then you also like Pokemon cards, you probably do if you're listening to the podcast. Good time to swing by, come and meet some of us, come and check out Nakama, get some good food, pick up some cards, some staples, maybe some Journey Together staples that you need. Or maybe pull like an SIR Lily's Clefairy and you need to move that or swap it up for some product. You got a spot to go to.
Yep. That's NakamaCon this weekend, March 29th. What time does it start?
11 to 6.
11 to 6.
Yep.
Okay, great. And then last announcement, which is our biggest announcement for this week. We've done this previously with Woki Pokey and some other local card shops. But as we prepare for the Atlanta Regional Championships, we want to get some best of 3 tournament practice in the Atlanta format, in person, over the table. So we have a double cash tournament weekend that the Beach Court podcast is hosting on April 5th and April 6th. On Saturday, April 5th, it'll be at Nakama starting at noon, $10 entry. On Sunday, it's at the Woki Pokey in St. Augustine, 1 p.m. start, $10 entry. I will have some details on our pages soon about registration and other things like that. 80% of entry fees will go towards prizing. Right now, we're anticipating doing cash prizing for that prizing because we probably won't get our hands on any Jar Together product. Let's just be real. So anyways, yeah, double cash weekend. So you're going to want to come out if you're from Orlando, you're from Tampa, you're from Tallahassee, you're from nearby, and you want to get some practice from Georgia, somewhere in Georgia, even if you're in Atlanta and you want some practice, you want a 5-hour drive down for a double cup, basically double cup weekend. It's not cups, but it's cash tournaments. We'll have a limit of 40 people on Sunday, and on Saturday we'll probably have like a limit of like 30. I think it probably fit like 20, 30 people in there. So yeah, best of 3 practice. Come on out. Maddox, Parker, and I will all be there. Hopefully, Parker might work one of the days. But yeah, we'll be there. Let's get some Atlanta practice. Are you guys excited for this?
Yeah. I should be there both days.
Should be there
I
both
love it.
days. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, always pumped to have the crew come out again. We have a big showing, especially here in North Florida, or really all over Florida. Folks heading to nearby regional. So in past years, it was Orlando. Unfortunately, we don't have Orlando anymore for Florida enjoyers, but we do have Atlanta. So I know a lot of us are making the drive up there. And anyone else is making the drive, want to make sure you're prepared and come on out to practice with us. Win some spending money, pick up the fancy arts of those Phillies Clefairy EXs you need, or just get some spending cash or cover your hotel for Atlanta, and ultimately just get some practice and have a good time.
Yeah, looking forward to it. So, again, stay tuned to our Twitter page. We'll post some details on there as they come out. And without further ado, I think that's going to do it for this week's episode. You guys got anything else? All right, well, have a good weekend, everyone. And I hope you enjoy watching the... we can't even watch Brisbane, probably. Never mind. Enjoy following Brisbane updates, I guess. And we'll talk to you guys next week. Until next time, see you then.
See ya.